Hello, this is Haken Novar with my first lightsaber review, and in this review I'll be comparing my son's Ultrasabers Apprentice V4 with my Kendo practice stick. Obviously not much here warrants a comparison between the two, differing so greatly in purpose. However, the Apprentice gives me a basis to determine what I need to order to get an ideal lightsaber for myself. Whereas the Kendo stick is the practice device which I've become accustomed to practicing with. One quick disclaimer, I will not be comparing the durability of these two items against each other. This is just a comparison of which device is best for practice by oneself. Just wielding the weapon around, etc. And really just if you're about my body type, which I'm about 6 feet high and have fairly large hands. I'll start by saying I'm very happy with this product. I think it's beautiful. The shipping was faster than they said it was going to be on their website. The only complaint I have is that there's a little nick in the very center of this pommel that comes with it standard, and there's another nick on the threads here, or actually I think there's like two, which kind of makes the pommel seem a little bit incomplete as far as its manufacturing is concerned. But very minor point, I could probably sand those down, and it's not a big deal. Fortunately, that sort of thing is not on the hilt itself, or then I would probably have a little bit more of a complaint on it. But overall, very nice product. I love it. We paid about $130 for this. It has a Li-ion battery setup. It's a stunt saber, so no sound, no extra colors, just the violet amethyst. And one thing we learned about this saber when we got it, you can't really see it here on the video, but the blade is actually a little bit more bluish toward the hilt and a little more reddish toward the tip. But it's a minor difference and it's not really obtrusive or bothersome. And it is more of a bluish hue, more toward the bluish spectrum than I thought it was going to be. But of course you can't tell that from a video, obviously, as you can see here, and you can't tell from what you see on the internet, any photos taken with it. We got the standard button to save money. We also want to get sound in the future, and it didn't cost that much more to get a pommel that has holes in it to let the sound out. So we upgraded to a better pommel for that. The standard pommel does not have holes in it. We also ordered the Ultra Edge blade, mid-grade, which I think looks very nice in violet amethyst, regular round tip. Because I ordered this for my 5-year-old son, I opted to go with the standard 24-inch blade, you know, to accommodate for his size. And I wish I had ordered heavy grade, because the balance of this blade is right about here, a little bit lower maybe, and with the swordsmanship following that I've been doing, my understanding is that the best or average placement of the balance should be about 4 fingers above your primary hand. So I hold it right about here, and I've kind of taught my son that this choke point is sort of the best place to hold your upper hand. But 4 fingers up from there is right about in this lower part of the blade. So that's kind of a low balance point. And I think a heavy grade blade would help that. It's already probably as light as I can get it in the hilt, aside from possibly getting a lighter pommel. Although because this pommel sticks out a bit, I suppose the standard pommel might help bring the weight back up a little bit, or the balance point. But the biggest difference would be a heavy grade blade. Aside from that, I don't think that I could get the balance much higher up. Another reason I got him the Apprentice was because he can fit 2 hands around it. I don't feel there's enough room for both my hands. I like a little bit of space in between, and that puts my lower hand on the pommel, which I don't think is ideal. So I'll probably be ordering the Sentinel for myself, because that's the longer version of the Apprentice, and I just like the look of the Apprentice. So I don't practice with this, not just because of the fact that it's not mine, but it would be fine for a one-handed weapon at this size, which you could occasionally maybe put 2 hands on, but not for regular two-handed use. So for practice purposes, I'll be continuing to use my Kendo stick, which is significantly longer, and I'm kind of getting used to that, but it has its pros and cons. It's nice to know how to wield around a longer stick, but in a small environment like I have, it's a little bit difficult not to hit things with such a long stick. So it would be nice to have a shorter one to practice with. The balance point of my Kendo stick is a little bit high, higher than I would want it, and maybe it's ideal for Kendo, but I'm not trying to learn Kendo necessarily, just lightsaber fighting or lightsaber combat. So I would want, well, I hold my hands here and here. I like the length of this hilt, even if this much of it was a pommel. But then 4 fingers up from there is about right here, so that's where I would want my balance to be, but instead it's way up here. So again, I'll be continuing to use my Kendo stick for practice, not the Apprentice V4. It's a little bit too short for me. Of this particular combination, the Kendo stick wins in favor of practical use, which is what I'm most concerned with, because I will be using my lightsaber once I get mine for sparring. So I'm definitely going to have to get one of these, but it'll probably be a Sentinel.